Alright, y'all don't get to see me doing any of my planning or figuring my ciphering, figuring out how I'm going to do this or do that. So I thought I'd try to video a little bit of it. Not sure the distance may be a little too far from over there to here, but I got this table leg that I want to put under here to give this little extra support. And so now the fun part is to figure out where I want to mount it, how it's going to go, and etc. So looks like it'd fit on that pretty well. See what's happening is this piece here I can mount up on top. I've got a brace up over there, it'll go there. But this piece here just sticks down just that much. So I'm afraid when we slide in we might hit our leg on it. So that's what I'm going to check and see that clearance. Might be able to cut that off a little bit with the Dremel, but still going to have a little bit sticking down. So let's see how it feels when it would be in position here. What I'll probably end up doing is tacking it in and then, you know, trying it out and seeing, you know, am I going to hit my leg when I come climbing in here? And looks like I'd really have to put my leg up high to be able to hit that. So I think it's going to be fine. Best I can tell, looks like I got about 3 inches from hitting it. So I'm just sliding in, sliding out. I think that's going to be good. Another thing I recommend, I got these Power Pro screws. They're better than using the Phillips head. They've got this like, I don't know, octagonal or hex thing in it that helps to grip the screw better. And I love these things because they don't hardly strip out at all. So much better than trying to use a Phillips. And what I did with my glasses, I can see distance just fine, but up close, I like having a pair of glasses. I can probably get away with that today. Back in and under. Always go slow, because your body is not near as tough as this trailer is when it comes to getting smacked around. Alright. I'm thinking that's going to go right up under here. Yeah, I'll have to fix the rest of that later. And I'll show y'all here in a minute once I test this out and see. Again, test, measure, retest. See if anything's going to get in your way. Move around. I'm not even noticing it, not even getting close to hitting it. So, if I get up high enough to hit it, I end up hitting this here. So, I think it's going to be just fine. Still going to need a little tad of tweaking to make it work properly, and I'll probably put a bolt in it so it can't come loose like that again. So I'll show y'all what happened here. Hopefully not get too jerky. Plan on buying a gimbal so that I can get nice smooth videos here eventually. So this is how it popped apart. So that little device is supposed to slide up and down. Now let's see here. I may have to see if I can get light on this. So I mounted it up under here, and I'll have to get some light to light that up a little better for you, but you can see it just pops down and it'll set on the floor, and that'll help brace up the end of this table. So I have a brace back there and bracing all up underneath, but I just wanted something on this outside edge as a little extra insurance. Alright, got some lighting now so you can see this table leg here in action. I fixed that little piece there, and I'll probably end up putting a screw through it to hold it once I get the length figured out. So it's adjustable. You just pull this thing here and down it comes till it clicks in, and it's off just a little bit, as you can see, and it won't quite click in. So I'm going to have to trim off a little bit off the bottom here so that it can reach down to the next click. You heard that click? Right there is where that little button clicks in. That's what holds the weight of the table. but I've got just almost a fingertip underneath there. Sorry for the poor quality there, it's kind of hard. Kind of got a reverse angle to video this thing, so I got just about a fingertip underneath it. So what I'll do is measure about a half a click here off, and then take a Dremel tool and cut it so that this can go down a little bit further. And then I can get back up underneath here. As you can see, this is the part I was worried about sticking down just a little bit, but it's rounded off. There's no sharp edges. Rounded off. There's no sharp edges, so I feel okay about this. So, and then what you do is you just lift it up like this, and you see the little lever moving, and it'll just tuck up underneath the table like that, where it's out of the way. But when somebody comes to get in here, and I want to have it a little stronger, I just got one screw in it right now, just kind of hold it in place. It'll brace up this table really well, and that way, you know, you can get some heavy weight on that and not worry about the end of the table collapsing on somebody or falling in on somebody who may be sleeping over here. Oh, there goes the cushion. I guess it was showing an example of falling over. Alright, here's a fancy bench I made to put the phone on while I cut that down with a Dremel tool. We'll see how well this thing sets in here. It's like anything else I've been doing, it's probably going to crash and fall to the ground. But we'll see. Mostly doing this just so y'all can see. It's kind of a pain to sit here and video these things and try to show all this stuff. Hey, well, maybe not so bad. Alright. Into the handy dandy tool cabinet. I think I just realized I broke my cutoff tool last time I used it. And in fact, I know I did. This is what I was going to use, was a Dremel with a little cutting wheel. But I broke the cutting wheel, and I'm pretty positive it's not going to go back on there. Well, it might. We'll see. So as I said, you can take this and cut it and adjust it, put the cap back on. So I'm wanting to come down one click, and I was about a half a finger short of that being able to hit the floor the way I wanted, so I'm going to trim the end of that off here on my fancy workbench. Half finger. Responsibility for anybody that injures themselves, starts fires, or creates hazards for others while doing things that I demonstrate in my videos. I'm not really sure about all the legal ease on that, but I'm sure there's probably supposed to be some. Now, that's going to be very, very hot. Do not stick the rubber end back in. Don't touch your finger to it or your tongue, because it'll burn the crap out of you. Now then, we'll wait for a bit, let that cool, and then we'll go try it out and see if it fits. From this angle, my finger guess was dead on. I have a very accurate finger measurement. So this piece here is going to come right up underneath here, and I'm going to screw it up on this back side. And I'll show you that when I get over here. I'll try to put the camera on this side so you can see it. But as you can see, hopefully, if I don't wiggle around too much, right on the money, right on the floor. So when the weight comes down on this, the weight will be on that, and you know, that'll keep this thing from collapsing and hurting somebody. Okay, well, I got no idea if that's going to work or not, if you can see that very well or not. Hopefully you can. I'm just kind of holding the camera off into a corner. So, all you YouTube folks out there who think holding the camera is rough, try doing it in a trailer with almost no space whatsoever. Now that takes some talent, I'm telling you. Almost as much talent as my finger measure. So right there is where I had it planned. So that is where she shall go. Okay, I'll put a couple more screws in it here in just a minute, but just to see if y'all can see this, hopefully. That'll just fold right up out of the way, and then fold right down like that, and hold the weight of a grown man. A grown man, I say. Reminds me of Foghorn Leghorn. And there we go. So up it goes, out of the way. Hey, somebody's going to come sleep tonight. Alright, well, let's put that leg down so nobody crashes down. Okay, here I am. Woohoo! Currently at 180 plus pounds, so pretty sure this will hold at least up to 200 pounds anyway. And if you're any bigger than that, you probably don't want to sleep on this back here. You want to be on the real bed. Alright, well. Hello everybody. We are in need of some opinions, so please put your opinions down here. I'm not going to bug you guys with all the please subscribe stuff. You know, if you subscribe, it's great. Helps us out, and get likes, that's great. You hear it 100 times. I'm not going to mention it too often. Anyhow, so what we're going to do is trying to figure out what covering to put on this tabletop. Here's a few choices that I picked up from the hardware store, and maybe eventually I'll mention hardware store names. But that's a few choices. Laura's come up with some wishbone material that she found on Pinterest. Go check out our Pinterest. We've got the stuff pinned there as well. Hey, you guys, I'm going to put up a poll, and I want y'all to vote on what type of material we should use to cover this tabletop. And then also, you got any ideas for trimming some of this out, trimming some of these boards out so they look a little prettier? I'm open to those ideas as well. So, hey, comment, let me know what you think. Tell me what ideas you have, what covering you think would be good for this. And hope everybody's having a great day. Okay, here's another angle of that leg I just installed that folds up underneath, just so you can kind of get an idea of its purpose. So as you can see, the table kind of hangs out, and the problem is sliding in and out. That brace that I did have up at the front was blocking us. We were hitting our knees on it, and it's hard to get around. So this looks like a real good solution. It folds up out of the way. Yet we can fold it down and get some real good support on that table, so if somebody's laying up there, you don't have to worry about it collapsing and it not being sturdy enough. As you can see, that's where the hot water heater is. Got it covered up in a box now. Didn't make it real fancy, but nobody's really going to see it, so not too big a deal. Not too concerned about how fancy it is, but it matches. All the wood matches. Everything's looking good so far. So on to another project.